Hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. We got the 10 a.m. numbers here on Hurricane Milton, and it continues to be terrible news. I mean, this thing cranked up 90 miles per hour over 24 hours. That is beyond extreme rapid intensification. It formed a pinhole eye last night, and that means it was very tightly wound, and that allowed the winds to just start screaming around the center of that circulation. And boy, you can really see this on the 3D imagery, how that eye there has developed here going into this morning. So it is a really bad situation here. It's shaping up a nightmare scenario for parts of central Florida, because that's likely where it's going to make impact. And it's got 155 mile per hour winds now as the 10 a.m. advisory. That is 1 mile an hour away from being Category 5. So this will become a Category 5 storm. Once again, extremely powerful. It's undergoing once again, an extreme rapid intensification process. Still moving to the east-southeast at around 9 miles per hour. Check out the latest path from the National Hurricane Center, and they have it listed as a Category 3. Now, you can see the Category 5 showing up on there. Boy, it's rare to see a forecast path in the Gulf of Mexico with a Category 5 storm on it. But that's what we have with Milton. You can see 160 mile per hour winds Tuesday at 6 a.m. Now, you do notice at landfall, they have it as a Category 3. So they do have it weakening. And the reason why is because some dry air is going to get wrapped into it. So we're pretty confident there will be some weakening before it makes landfall. But ultimately, that's not likely to make a whole lot of difference to folks in Florida. They're going to see the landfall of a major hurricane. And also, whatever storm surge it builds up as a Category 4, Category 5 storm will still be intact as it makes landfall. So, we talk, so the conditions will still be pretty horrendous in and around central Florida, wherever it makes landfall. Now, exactly where it makes landfall will be super critical to folks over there in the Florida Peninsula. Obviously, one county difference makes a huge difference depending on where people live. And obviously, Tampa Bay is where the most population is at. And they haven't taken a direct hit from a major hurricane in more than 100 years. Helene gave them 6 feet of storm surge, and that caused major problems. This one's likely to do a lot more than that. So the tropical storm force winds, if there's anything good about this storm, is that it's not very large. It's going to be a fairly compact storm. The hurricane force winds, I think, are only about 35 to 40 miles away from the center at this point. So it's not a very large storm, but obviously wherever it makes landfall, it's going to do massive damage. Now, we are going to be protected. It can't make a big turn to the north. It cannot turn to the north and head towards us. And the reason why is because there's a cold front, and it's already here. It's going to be dropping even farther to the south. That will push it into the west coast of Florida. It can't jump over that cold front. That's not how physics works. So it'll head towards the west coast of Florida. Now, exactly where, obviously, there's still a lot of uncertainties. And like I said, even a few miles will make a difference to the folks that live there, obviously. And it could be really the nightmare scenario for Tampa Bay. If it comes in at the right angle, we could be talking about 20 feet of storm surge into Tampa Bay. And here's all the different models, and they really kind of have like 3 different scenarios here. The top scenario, the northernmost scenario here that you see with these forecast paths just north of the Tampa area, those would be pretty much the nightmare scenario for Tampa, because that would push a lot of water into Tampa Bay. Now, if it comes in just a little bit to the south, say around Sarasota, it'll still be pretty rough in Tampa, but they'll have offshore winds and they won't have the level of storm surge. And so that will, that will lower the damage in and around the Tampa Bay area. If it goes all the way down here around Naples, that would probably be the best case scenario for Florida, because that would put a lot of the worst weather out over the Everglades. But regardless, none of these is a good scenario. They're all bad. It's just a pick your poison type of scenario here. Which one do you want? The storm surge very well could be epic. Once again, Tampa has been lucky, has been missed over and over and over again by major hurricanes. They've been brushed by a lot of big storms, but they have not taken a direct hit in more than 100 years. And as of now, the Hurricane Center is predicting as much as 12 plus feet of storm surge in and around Tampa Bay. But if that storm comes into the right angle, 20 feet of storm surge is not out of the question in Tampa Bay. That would be catastrophic. I mean, we're talking millions of people in that area, and quite a few of them be affected. Now, of course, too, it's not just where it makes landfall. This is likely basically to track up right up Interstate 4 through Orlando. And Orlando and other areas inland will see massive problems. For us, the only thing that we see out of this is a high rip current risk. That's it. The cold front protects us. We actually get beautiful weather here. The only thing that impacts us is the rough surf. That's it. There's the front. It's already dropping to the south. It'll drop through our area today. Now, it's not a real powerful front. Don't expect our temperatures to start dropping right away. We're still going to hit 90 degrees this afternoon. It's still going to be pretty hot and toasty. And as we look over the long-range forecast, you don't see a big dip in our temperatures. They're going to kind of just gradually come down. So we're kind of gliding into fall. But look at our forecast over the next 10 days. It's gorgeous. We don't have any rain on there. We have lots of sunshine. We have really pleasant temperatures. I mean, it is just gorgeous. So, we're going to be feeling a little guilty up here, I think, because once again, they're going to be dealing with the landfall of that major hurricane just to the south of us down in the west coast of Florida. Boy, that is just a rough situation. The 10 a.m. numbers, 155 mile per hour winds, Category 4 storm, almost a Category 5. This has been rapidly intensifying. It is a nightmare scenario for the west coast of Florida. Keep those folks in your prayers, and of course, we'll keep you updated here on Fox 10.